Hello, we've recently launched a new website for SilvaTree Landscaping, who are based in Southeast London. I just want to talk you through the initial sort of process of getting a site live and then what our next steps are once it is up and running. We take the view that we want to get a website built and live as fast as possible, ideally about 4 or 5 weeks. The reason for that is that we can then submit it to Google and start work on search ranking. The alternative would be, I suppose, to wait until everything was perfect, until we had all the best images, the best text, and everything else, and then launch it and spend 3, 4, 5 months over the build of the site. But my view always is a website is designed to generate inquiries, and the sooner it starts doing that, the better. So with SilverTree, as an example, the photos they have currently are not the best. They've got some good ones and they've got some weaker ones. And I say weaker because some of their photos are portrait rather than landscape, and they're a bit compressed, a bit small because they've been shared on WhatsApp. So they're not really the high resolution we really ideally want. However, we've got enough good ones to make a start, and then we can add in more and replace some of the existing ones going forwards. So there's one or two good things about them from a marketing perspective. First up, the name SilverTree. It's an easy name to remember and to spell, and one of the reasons why that matters is that a lot of the time people are thinking about the garden today, but not planning to do anything until 12 months, maybe 24 months down the line. So having a memorable name certainly helps, because when they are closer to making a decision on who to use, they're far more likely to remember you and search for you by name rather than searching for landscaping company near me. Having this sort of identity, so we've got a nice strong purple color which came from their old website, their SilverTree and their name, working all that together, and we'll follow that through in all the other marketing we do on social media and so on for them. Just gives them a bit of a brand identity and makes them more memorable to people when they're looking at them and lots of other landscaping garden design companies. The homepage is effectively a summary of what's within the website. So on the homepage, we want a bit of everything. So we want to have an overview of all the services with links to all the service pages. We want information about the company, a bit of text about them, some photos. They've got some reasons for choosing them there. Um, what we're trying to do with the homepage is make sure that we've got a bit of everything on it. So if someone doesn't look any further, that's okay. They've got everything from the homepage. So there's reviews there. We've got some projects down here, photos, and all their contact details as well. And from a search ranking perspective, it's a key page for Google, because Google's looking at the homepage as the sort of route into everything else in the website. So we want to have links to all the other internal pages here, so we can show to Google that these are the important pages. These are the ones that you should be looking at and indexing in search results. And it shows them what the website is all about. So from a search ranking perspective, and my view is we're looking at two audiences. We're looking at people, as in the ones that are actually going to click on the contact button, click on the phone call, make an inquiry, and Google, because if we forget about Google and this website is never found, no matter how good it looks, no one's ever going to call them. So we want to make sure it shows up well in search results, and all those little things are going to help do that. The way we tend to build websites always is to break down the services in individual pages, just so that we can target them specifically. We want to show up if someone is searching for landscaping, for patios, paving, driveways, etc. And if we try and do that on one page, it's never going to happen. So we can have a page on landscaping as an example, and in there we can talk about everything related to landscaping. So what forms part of landscaping. We can mention landscaping lots of times. We can have a few photos. We can lists of what they do, etc. And from a search ranking perspective, we can highlight to Google what we mean by landscaping for SilverTree, and therefore when someone's searching for landscaper near me, landscaping company, things like that in their local area, this is the page that Google should be showing up in search results and bringing people into. And then from there, they can then go and look at all the other pages, look at the projects, the gallery, and everything else. Projects are a key one. And I take the view that no good inquiry will come in without that person looking at the projects page and the about page, just because if you are serious about spending 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, whatever it may be on the garden, you're going to check a company out properly first. You're going to have a look at what they've done in the past, and you're going to have a look at who they are before you pick up the phone or fill in a form. With projects, we always try and get in the location as well. So it's another little trick for helping search ranking. And also, it helps encourage people to click on the project. So looking at the projects, people will often see a garden that's similar to theirs in terms of size or in terms of what they would like to do with their garden, or they notice a location that is near them, and they'll click on a project because of that, because of some kind of familiarity with it. With SilvaTree, we've started off with the existing projects they had from their old website, but as they get new and better photos of newer projects, we'll replace some of the weaker ones on here with the new ones, and just make it more and more impressive. So when someone first comes there, they sort of get a degree of wow factor about the work that they've done in the past. You don't need lots of projects. My view always is, if you've got 3 or 4 real top headline projects you've got fantastic photos for, and a lot of photos for those projects, those photos can be used all over the place, because a good sized project is going to involve fencing and paving and some turf and planting and so on, and a selection of photos can be used all over a website, and they can become the top row of projects that are shown, the ones that get the most clicks. And then you can have your secondary ones further down, so the ones that aren't quite so impressive, maybe the photos aren't quite as good because they were taken on a cloudy day, or it's just been finished and nothing's growing yet. But if you've got the good ones at the top and the weaker ones lower down, then it's good enough to create that impression you're trying to with a potential customer. Blogs we always use from an SEO, a search ranking perspective. Blogs are a great way of getting lots of detailed content into a website, targeting the things that people are searching for. So we bring people into the site, and then when they're here, then they start looking at the services, the projects, etc. About page. So again, it's the new site, so there's lots more to be done here with it. But the next thing with the about page is expanding that. So we've got probably 2 pages. One page about the company, the other page about the people. So a meet the team type page, so we can show who it is that will be showing up each day, doing the work on the garden, because that's what most customers want to know. They sort of assume that you can do what you say you'll do, and therefore it comes down to the people. Who is it that's going to be coming along each day? Are they reliable? Will they care about the garden? Will they work hard? All those sorts of things, and showing a team page really helps with that. There's other things we'll be doing with this website. We'll be building up more and more content within the site. We'll be targeting pages at specific local locations around them. So if someone, they're based in Bromley, Southeast London, so if someone searches for landscaping company in Bromley, we want a page on that that's targeting that for the search results, so it shows up and people find them because of it. We'll be replacing some of the weaker photos with better photos. We'll be adding new projects. We'll be expanding really all areas of the website, so it becomes more and more visible, and therefore more and more people find it. And a lot of the time, we're really targeting the people for the future. So not the person that's when we're in May now, not the person that's thinking, okay, middle of May, I need the garden done in July, and is rushing to find someone to do it, because a lot of the time our clients are going to be booked up for 3 or 4 months, so it's not going to happen. We're interested in the people for the future, so the ones that are thinking, okay, well, we'd like to get something done in the autumn, October, November, we're looking around now, or even better, we're looking at it for next spring, getting the work done next spring so it's ready for next summer, and they're planning it out, and now they're looking for the right company, they're looking for ideas, etc., and they'll come in to a website like this a few times, see what the company's done, see new projects being added, read more information about them, social media and everything else. And then when they're ready, and they may not be ready for a few months, then they'll pick up the phone and say, hello, we've been looking at what you've done in the past. This is what we need doing. Could you come and have a look and give us a quote? And those are the sorts of inquiries we're really after, the high quality, the really interesting ones. So I hope that gives a bit of a picture as to what we do and how we do it. And really, it's for us, it's getting this first iteration of a website live as fast as possible. So we've got a foundation that we can then build on and expand on and improve as we go.